Hi guys, welcome to iPhone application development. Today we'll discuss about the different mobile application platforms which are available in the market, and mainly focusing on iOS and why should we select the iOS and what is the need or what is the advantages we have compared to other mobile operating systems. So generally in the market we have different mobile operating systems like iPhone, Android, BlackBerry, Windows Mobile and Symbian. Apart from these all mobile operating systems, we can strongly say that iOS is the major leading mobile operating system compared to other mobile operating systems. Mainly the features what we can get with iOS is actually the inbuilt antivirus protected operating system with respect to either Mac or desktop or with respect to iOS device. So this is one of the best feature we have, and apart from this also the Cocoa touch layer. This is the best feature or the rich feature we can say for iOS development, which is actually capturing throughout the world market with respect to the mobiles or smartphones or pads also. So in iOS development program, actually we can say, or we are going to deal with iOS development, which actually involves iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. So the better future also we have with iOS is if we want to develop any application specific to one device like iPhone or iPad, that we can do with the same code base. Whereas compared to Android, actually we have to go for another different development for pads separately and their mobile devices separately. Based on the resolutions or the screen dimensions also, we have to put some more extra efforts compared to iOS development. So let's come into the iOS development. Why we have to choose the iOS development? So these are the world stats as of July 2011. What are the applications we have available for different Apple devices? So these are world statistics. We can say like it has been drastically grown to thrice or 4 times of the what are the statistics we are seeing on the screen. So today almost we have around 1 to 2 crores of apps are available in the App Store throughout the world, and this is available around 180 countries throughout the world, and downloads actually it has beaten the 30 billion times already. So day by day actually iOS usage or the Apple devices usage are being drastically increased, nearly we can say 100 to 150%. And coming to the statistics or the base of the iOS platform. So we can see on the screen like these are the statistics of iOS generation. So iPhone has been launched in the month of June of 2007, and App Store has been launched in the June 2008. So this App Store is a place where I can develop or place the apps from where the end users of mobile devices like iPhone, iPod Touch, and iPad can download from there. And iPod Touch has been launched in the month of September 2007, and different versions have been released which is specific to iPhone and iPod and iPad. So those models we can see here. These are the iPhone models actually we have, and currently in the market we have the iPhone 5 also. So iPhone 5 and the iOS 6 is the latest one what we can say, which is the most advanced device available in the market or in the world as of now. So we can see the configurations or what we can say the performance also based on these configurations on these devices. And iPod models currently we are running with the 4th generation model, which is also same compatible like iPhone. Apart from the calling feature, we are going to have all the features available in the iPhone specific to iPod Touch. And the next one is the revolutionary model of Apple like iPad. Currently we are running with the iPad 4, that is 4th generation iPad, which is much faster compared to other tab devices, either it may be from Google or Samsung, whatever it may be. So this is the best pad or tablet we can say which has taken up the major resolution or major revolution into the pads market. And recently also Apple has launched iPad mini also, which lies in between iPod Touch and iPad. That is also one of the better product, one of the best product from Apple that has been launched recently. We also know that has been launched around 2 to 3 months back. And These are the actually specifications for iPhone and iPod Touch and iPad. And coming to the resolution, like we can say the best or the world's best resolution we can obtain from iPad Touch. This is because of the Cocoa Touch framework, which is available on the top of the layer of iOS architecture that in detail we will see in the introduction point of view specific to iOS development. And this is the one of the best feature we have with iOS compared to other mobile operating systems we don't have, that is HIG, the Human Interface Guidelines, which are predefined by Apple itself, what to do and what not to do specific to the iPhone application development. So violating of any HIG guidelines, Apple is supposed to reject the application. So each or every developer has to strictly follow this HIG. Because of this only the App Store is leading in the market, like violated content or any hazard contents should not contain in our applications. So the development process. So how the application has been developed and what are the prerequisites of application we will see now. So this is the development process, actually planning, designing and building, illustrating, testing and debugging. So for this actually development we have the iPhone SDK and iPhone IDE, and for testing devices like iPhone simulator we have, and some set of instructions have been given by the Apple for testing this application and submitting it to the Apple App Store for review. So once the plan, design and development has been completed using whatever the prerequisites required for the iPhone application development, we can submit our application to App Store. So as we discussed earlier, like this is the place where we can submit our application so that the end user of Apple devices may access this App Store to download our application and review and make a fun of our applications. And Apple App Store review will most probably take 7 to 10 working days for reviewing. Excuse me. And now once the review process has been completed, means the application will be available in the App Store. So here we can make a business, like I can give the application at free of cost, or I can set some specific price to my application, which comes under the paid category. And this plan and prepare marketing and executive marketing, that depends and differs from organization to organization. See here, like not an organization as an iPhone developer or the individual business person also, I can have a market capture by developing my own applications and maintaining my separate accounts with the Apple, where I can have the business separately or individually. So this is also one of the feature or one of the advantage we can say here. And next one is now we have seen how the application has been developed and reached to the end user. Now coming to the development point of view, what are the prerequisites required for the iPhone application development? So the first thing is SDK, iOS SDK, software development kit. So it mandatorily should be working on Mac OS operating system only. So this iOS application development is not possible on Windows environment. So it mandatorily should have the Mac operating system. So the core OS is like configured or designed on which actually we can maintain both iOS and Mac OS applications. So using this SDK or IDE, the IDE we are going to use here is the Xcode. So using Xcode, it's possible for a developer to develop an application which is compatible for 3 devices, iPhone, iPad and iPod Touch. And the same actually the developer can also capable of developing an application specific to desktops and laptops, which are nothing but the Mac based operating systems. So that provision also we have with the Xcode IDE. And coming to this iOS SDK, it internally will contain some frameworks. Excuse me. And the language which we are going to use for this application development is Objective-C. So coming to iOS technology, the architecture of the iOS is, this is the structure how the architecture is going to have. The base or the foundation for this iOS is the core OS, on top of which we have the layer core services, on top of which we have the media, on top of which actually the Cocoa Touch. So compared to Mac operating system and iOS operating system, this is the one difference we have, that is Cocoa Touch. So except this Cocoa Touch, we are going to have these 3 layers in the Mac operating system architecture also. So this Cocoa Touch is the main thing, like which is going to work for the user interaction. So user interaction with the device will be handled by this Cocoa Touch layer. So internally, this Cocoa Touch layer is going to have, these are the internal frameworks or APIs supported by the Cocoa Touch layer, or these all are the like frameworks which can be handled by the Cocoa Touch layer. So UI kit, game kit, and push notifications, and in-app mail and SMS, and lots of more also there. But these are the major APIs frameworks we can say which can be handled by the Cocoa Touch layer. So internally, each framework is going to deal with these functionalities like multitasking, camera, microphone, and controls, web browser, gestures. So the gestures is the main thing which is going to make the interaction active. So the gesture is the capable of getting the input from the user touch and providing the inputs required for the functionality to be done based on the user requirement. And coming to media layer, here the Quad 2D and Core Graphics, Core Animation, OpenGLS, these are the different media frameworks are supported by the iOS. So from here, like media layer and Core OS and remaining layers are also same compared to the Mac operating system also. So here Quad and OpenGLS are meant for graphical representations or any rich UI want to design. We can go ahead with Quad 2D. And with the latest iOS, actually we have Quad 3D also. So media layer will also cover with the core audio and audio video foundation frameworks, all these things. So MPEG-4 video format and different other video formats are also supported by iOS and Mac operating system also. And coming to the core services, these are the main core services specific to the iOS and specific to the Mac OS. So the latest Mac OS is also dealing with the features what we have with respect to iOS, like notifications and push down like banners, ads, all are supported by Mac OS also. So this in-app purchase and the GCD, these are the better features we have with iOS. So this specifically you can say for this GCD is the Grand Central Dispatch, which is going to handle for multi-threading functionalities, and multiple tasks can be handled by this GCD. Like in-app purchase is also one of the better feature we have here, where the user or the developer or the product owner can sell their individual or application related documents or anything within the app itself. So through which actually one application has been developed, and he can sell the applications, or he can give an advertisement also within the application using iAd. So these kind of different features we have with respect to the core services layer. And coming to the core OS layer, this is the base of the architecture of this either iOS or Mac, where actually we are going to deal with the kernel level and the network level, and all what are the basic things required for, like base things required for any hardware instrument are going to be handled in core OS. And next one is what is the programming language we are going to use for iOS application development. So here the Objective-C is a superset of ANSI-C, which is actually based or built up or written from all, like we can say the Smalltalk is the base for Objective-C, on which architecture actually Objective-C has been developed. So Objective-C is we can say like altogether the combination of Smalltalk and the OOPS concepts of like C++. So altogether we can say it as a strictly superset of ANSI-C. And this Objective-C language is also going to use for Mac application developments also. So this is just like we can say the history of iOS development, how it has come into the picture. So in general in Objective-C we can see like the data types or any objects or any classes we are going to use will start with the NS. So this NS is nothing but this next step. So this is the first operating system which has initiated by the iOS development. So later on, this next step has been like taken over by this Apple, and from that day onwards, actually this iOS or whatever it may be are under the roof of Apple. So that's the reason actually we'll get the names and data types in the Objective-C also with respect to NS. NS is nothing but the next step, which is the base organization of this iOS. And coming to the development tools, these are the development tools actually required. So that is the one Intel-based Mac operating system. Here Mac operating system, like Macintosh operating systems, currently we have different flavors of Mac operating systems also, like we can say Leopard, Snow Leopard, Lion, and the Mountain Lion. So the Mountain Lion is the latest advanced version where actually we are going to deal with the iOS application development in our further classes. And this is the Intel based Mac actually we are going to use, and iOS SDK, which can be downloaded or available at the Apple site itself at free of cost. Any developer can use by downloading it from the Apple App Store, Apple Developer Portal. And the second one is the device. So once the application development is completed, means we can test that one which using the iPhone simulator, which is available along with the iPhone SDK. Apart from that, actually we want to see the performance of any web-based application with respect to the device specific. Then we can go with any iPhone or iPod Touch. Along with that device, so once my application is ready and I want to make available this application to the worldwide users, then there comes the picture of this iOS program membership. So which actually going to take membership from Apple Developer Portal for 1 year duration. So here we have different membership options like $99 and $199. So that varies on varies based on our requirement, how we are going to distribute our application. So that comes at the end of the application completion. And now coming to the developer tools. So these are the minimal developer tools required for the iPhone application development. So Xcode is nothing but the IDE, integrated development environment, and the debugger and the interface builder. So interface builder is nothing but the tool which can be used to design the UI of any application. In order to design any UI part, actually we are going to use this interface builder. So these are the old versions like interface builder we are supposed to use. But with respect to iOS 5 onwards, we have the most courageous and advantageous feature we have is the storyboard concept. So where I can maintain all together UIs at one platform or one base, and I can make the connections or outlets or actions can be defined within that particular storyboard only. So storyboard actually minimizes a lot of effort from the developer and the UI designing point of view. And the next one is instruments. As of all, we know that the mobile devices are very memory effective management we have to be considered, as the memory available for this each devices will be very low, even though we have the iPhone device 16 GB or 32 GB, even though we have to maintain the memory management effectively. So there is a chance like earlier versions of iOS, we don't have the garbage collector. In that case, it's very difficult for the application to sustain with respect to the memory management. So in that case, actually we are going to use these instruments where we can easily identify where the memory leaks is being happened. So using these instruments, I can run a test and I can identify where the memory leakages have been happening, and so that I can fix the memory management, memory leaks or memory issues, which gives the faster performance of the application. And iPhone and iPad simulators actually we are going to get along with the iPhone SDK. So this is the just look and feel of the IDE, how we are going to have, and this is the editor where we can edit, and these are the components we can directly drag it and drop it in the XIB file in the storyboard. And this is the navigator, and where here I can choose the version of the simulator or device. Excuse me. So this is a snap look of IDE. So this we can call it as the navigator, and this is the editor where I can select this output device option. And these are the utilities actually from where I can have the description, like whatever the object I have selected from the library, I can have the description and the functionality and supported methods available in this utilities. So this is the console or the debug screen where we can see what is happening inside the application here. So this is called, we can say it as a debugger window where I can find the what's happening inside the application at each and every operation done by the user. Yeah, here comes the main window like XIV. This is the interface builder where we are going to design the UI point of view of iPhone application output. So from here, like from library, I can drag it and drop it, whatever the tools or whatever the objects are required on the UI point of view. And I can make the connections from this interface builder to the coding environment, and where I can define the functionalities also. These are the properties where we can set or the organizer or the attribute inspector, we can say. If I have drag and drop from the library, for example, this round right button. So I have to define some properties to this particular object. So those all properties I can define from here. So what is the color I can define? Like these properties are going to be changed based upon the object which I have selected. So here I can define the background color and the transparency and how the title has to set for the round right button, and what is the action I have to perform for this button click. So all these properties I can set it from this inspector window. And next thing is the outlets and action. See, earlier we have discussed like I can drag and drop some components on the XAB, and just dragging and drop it won't work. It won't give the complete functionality what I am supposed to do with that particular object. So here comes the concept of these outlets and actions. See, one object I have been dragged and dropped it on the XAB. So from interface builder to the coding environment, I have to make some assignments. So like for this button, I want to perform some action. That is nothing but the action. And the reference for this object which I have dropped on the interface builder needs to be created one outlet from the IDE. So this is nothing but the outlet and actions. So the outlet is nothing but from the coding environment to the interface builder, what I am making or what I am providing the reference is nothing but the outlet, and with the user action on this particular object and the passes information to the coding environment is nothing but the action. So from coding environment to interface builder is nothing but outlet, and the interface builder to coding point of view is nothing but the action. So these two actually we have to maintain in a proper way. Why? Because the outlet creation and action creation should be unique or differentiated with specific to the names what we are giving for this each outlet, each object in the interface builder, and the each object what we are creating the reference in the code. That means in the IDE environment. The outlets like used to connect the properties in code with objects in the interface, and the action are used to initiate the events in the code from actions in the UI. So this is all just a brief introduction about the iOS application development. And next, coming to some fundamentals of this Objective-C and the tools. So as we have already discussed that this Objective-C is available from the developer portal, and now I have downloaded some applications and I have downloaded the iOS SDK and developed the applications. Now next thing is how to distribute this application to the end user. So here actually we are going to consider two types of different distribution techniques. One is ad hoc distribution and another one is the app store distribution. So ad hoc distribution is nothing but like I can specifically or limitedly submit or distribute my application to only 100 members. Like by knowing the device, the UDID, Universal Device Identifier, Unique Device Identifier, I can directly generate the IPA file. So the IPA file is nothing but the output file of this iOS application. So once this IPA file has been installed in the device means which is going to be run the application in the device. So ad hoc distribution is limited for 100 number of devices based on the UDID number of each device. And the second one is the App Store registration, sorry, App Store distribution, which can be available for the n number of users available throughout the world. That depends upon the country restrictions. So for that App Store submission, actually we required the developer program registration with Apple, which costs around $99 per year. So this $99 per year is valid for 1 year. So we have to renew this membership program for each and every year by paying the $99. And these are the internal components actually what we have seen which are specific to each layer. What is the media layer is going to contain and what is the Cocoa Touch layer is going to contain. And next one is this interface builder. This also actually we have done. And now just I would like to show you one sample project creation, how actually we can launch the iOS application and how I can add the content to the application. So all these things I will just show you one sample application here. And before to that actually I like to share what kind of applications actually we can develop with respect to iOS. Here comes actually the three types of applications. One is the native iOS application, second one is web-based application, and third one is the hybrid application. So coming to native application is the app which is going to be utilize all the components related to iOS and nowhere it's going to connect to the web or the internet. It doesn't require any internet connection. All the things are native things which are fetched from the actual device itself, and the data storage, all these things can be managed or handled by this excuse me, native iOS configurations only. And second one is a web application which is going to deal all together completely with the web interface. So it mandatorily required the internet connection. And data fetching or data saving or data uploading or data downloading, which is going to take place through internet connection only. And the third one is the hybrid application, which is nothing but the combination of these two. Like the native things are also available in this particular app, and the web applications are also, or web content is also available in the application. So just I would like to show you one sample application creation here. So here I can select one particular new project. So here we can have different types of templates. So it's a single window application or empty application or utility application. So based on my requirement, I can choose the template of each application here. And see, here we can see the two different types of categories. One is the iOS based applications and second one is Mac OS based applications. So if I'm going to select any application or the template from this OS X means, which is going to run for Mac operating system based desktops or laptops. So now our course content here we are going to deal with the iOS application. So I'm going to select this iOS and I can go with single view application and I can go to next. So here the project name I can give here directly. So we are going to create a sample. And now here these are the actually we can say this is a bundle identifier which is going to be very useful in the case of App Store submission. So each application can be differentiated with this particular bundle identifier only. So you can observe like this here the bundle identifier always should be starting with a com dot and the company identifier, that means company name, and the product name. And here if we want to add any prefix means, so we can add to this particular product name, and this universal. See here we have different options like iPad, iPhone, and universal. So if I want to develop any application specific to iPad only, then I can go ahead with iPad. And if it is only for iPhone, I can go ahead with iPhone only. And if I want to develop any application for both devices like iPhone and iPad, then I can choose this universal application. See, we can see here different options also available like use storyboards and use ARC. Yes, I would like to say one of the best feature for from iOS is one more is like ARC. This is nothing but automatic reference counting, which is going to be take care of all the memory management specific to this application. So like garbage collection and wherever the memory leaks are going to be take space, all these can be handled by this ARC. And third one is include unit testings, unit tests. So here I can define the unit test cases for each application if I opt for this method. So now I'm going to deal with the universal application, which can be capable of running the application in both devices, so like iPhone and iPad. It will ask for the location. Where should I save this one? Just I'm saving it on the desktop itself. Now see, this is the navigator which I am going to get, and this is the project file here, and these are the details of this particular project under build settings, under build configurations, the build phases, and summary. See this bundle identifier here, and the devices is the universal app, and this particular version application is 1.0, and here I can select the deployment target as what is the base version I would like to go ahead. You can see here I can set the default deployment target as 4.3, means this particular application is going to be version specific, which is going to work from iOS 4.3 to iOS 6. So this is the deployment target we can set here. So like we have different iOS versions and export versions. All those we are going to deal with our course curriculum during our training period. And you can see the navigators here. Here I am going to get this particular view controller, and this is the storyboard actually. See, we can see here two different storyboards. One is for iPad and another one is for iPhone. So if I want to design any UI point of view for this iPhone, I can design it here. And if I want to design anything here, I can design it here. See, for generally this simulator, iPhone simulator, we'll just see how to drag and drop a label and how I can see the hello world. See, just I'm trying to drag a label here, and I can define the sizes to this. So I can set the properties here, like what is the text I would like to see here is initially hello world, and the color of the font I can set here is green, and the size. So size I can set whatever the size I want, and the font system bold, and I can set the font family also here, and the alignment. See, alignment I can set it to center, and different properties also I can set it here for the labels actually. Now this is done. So just I want to display whenever my application is launched, I want to display the hello world, and I can select the output device here. See, now we are trying to launch this one for iPhone. I can select the iPhone simulator here. Before going to launch this application, just save by clicking on Windows S, like excuse this Windows S, and now just run the application. So I don't want to run this organizer, that means this library, just I can hide it. Yeah, build got succeeded. Let us see the output of our sample application. As this is the first time like new project creation, it will take some couple of seconds to launch the application. Actually, we can see the status of the application running sample app. Let me try one more time actually. Just stop the application once. It's taking much time. And this is the simulator actually for iPad. You can change the dimensions of iPad also. See, this is a blank actually. We have not added anything to this iPad simulator. So let us try with iPad simulator also, just by adding one label here. And the text is hello, by setting the size as 50 and the center, this center alignment, and this label I can adjust it to whatever the size I would like. Suggest I will run one more time. Now we can see the output as the sample, like hello world. Yeah, here is the output, like you can see the hello world on the screen. So like this, not only specific to label whatever the action we would like to go ahead and implement, that we can do with iOS. So this very easy to understood and easy to work on this iPhone or iPad applications also. So let us see in our further classes like how we are going to deal with this each functionalities in this, what is the each component is meant for. So all these things actually we are going to see in our discussions, in future discussions. So this is a universal application. Actually, I can run it for both iPhone and iPad simultaneously. Hope you guys easy to understand what actually we have discussed as a point of view for the iOS introduction development online training. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Have a good day. Thank you.